Blessings and good evening. Tonight again we come together to practice mindfulness, sit quietly together, recite some chanting. When we become familiar with the chants, whether it be in the English language or in the Pali, when we are able to memorize, recollect the chanting by memory, then these various verses that we recite regularly tend to crop up in our minds or our memories throughout the day or at different times. Sometimes when we need that reflection, or we've lost our metta and we recollect the Metta Sutta, which we did in English this evening. Just as a mother protects with her life her child, her only child, so that might come up for us, that verse, when we're about to get angry, get upset with somebody. And we can ask ourselves, would the quality of a mother protecting her child with great love and affection, would that person act in such a way when the heart is full of metta? Then anger is subdued. So this is the great benefit of this practice of chanting, recitation, memorization. It's like we're giving regular attention to Dhamma reflections by reciting them. For somebody who doesn't see the value in this, it can seem uninteresting, boring, or we're not learning any new chants per se once we are familiar with the standardized chants. Seems like, why for 20 years have you been reciting the same verses? What do you get out of that? And very much our minds are different each time we come to do our chanting. So we can reapply our sense of sincerity in chanting them as if it was the first time we've ever chanted them. Applying our mindfulness and presence of mind to recollect the qualities of the Buddha, our gratitude to the Buddha, to the Dhamma, to the Sangha, throughout the period of chanting. Then when we bow to the Buddha, the Dhamma, the Sangha, with our hearts and with full sincerity. The mind that doesn't have mindfulness tends to do these things in a perfunctory way. But when we do it to cultivate mindfulness, wholesome mind states, and truly applying ourselves to the reflections, to the recollecting the qualities of the Buddha Dhamma Sangha, then we gain peace of mind, joy, rapture. When done in the right way with mindfulness, then it can be a very good precursor to starting your meditation. If we just chant to get the chanting out of the way, then it might be very difficult to bring that mind who doesn't want to be joining in with the chanting, but just wants to do the sitting. Then it can be very difficult to bring it to calm. It's almost starting off on the wrong foot. When we memorize the chanting, it can be something we refer back to when normally our minds proliferate or get distracted at different times. Maybe when there's little happening at work, or you're in the elevator going from the ground level up to the 7th story of your office building. Instead of scrolling through your phone or being distracted by advertisements, you can see if you can stay with your chant of Itipiso until the doors open for your floor. Or when you turn on your computer at work, and you're waiting for it to reboot, instead of going to distraction, unnecessary distraction, then see if you can go back to your recitation of Namo Tassa. Then you're using it as a way of cultivating mindfulness, bringing your mind to a wholesome object. You don't necessarily have to recite that out loud, you can recite it internally. And there'll be occasions where maybe you're just standing in that elevator or waiting for the bus, but you're with your wholesome object of chanting. And maybe that's the time when your mind really recollects the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha, becomes calm, peaceful. In a situation where you'd normally be distracted, maybe frustrated by waiting, but use it as valuable time to cultivate mindfulness. So there's many great results and comes from the chanting, both in the Pali and the English. So for now we can spend the rest of the meditation session cultivating our meditation object, letting go of any thoughts that pull us off to other worries and concerns. Just bringing it back to the body, how it's feeling here right now. Being mindful of the breath or Buddho. And keep continually doing that. Try not to give up. Get lost in the thinking. Trying to be mindful, aware of it, and just let it go. But come back to this peace and calm. So we can try that together for the next period of time.